All right. Hopefully everyone will see me, hear me, adore me. Hope folks are having a nice week as we get ever closer to the holidays. It is absolutely eggnog. What exactly is it that you think would pass for eggnog but isn't eggnog? That's very confusing to me as a concept. Hello, Ms. Wicked Wolf. Hello, Carowin. Hello, Vacuum Comment Ben. Adrenaline, Homebody, Bookworm, Pirates, Angus, Geek Rambles. Lots of folks here. Good to see you all. Am I going to see Avatar, The Age of Water? Maybe. I'm not in a rush. I want to try and get out to see Violent Night. I really should have done that today. But I want to try and catch that one. But yeah, I don't know. I'll probably see Avatar eventually. Whether I'm going to rush out to the theater, I don't know. Two of my best friends gave me an early Christmas present. Beautiful Celtic cross with Connemara marble. Oh, that's lovely. Merry Christmas, you filthy animal. I butchered that quote properly. No, that's that's the quote. At least from the second one. Because from the first one, it's keep the change, you filthy animal. But then in the second movie, it's a different quote from the same fake old movie. Well, no, from a follow-up to the same fake old movie franchise. And in that one, he goes, Merry Christmas, you filthy animal, and a Happy New Year, with gunshots in between those two. So no, you were still accurate, just to the sequel. Trek Witch. Like that name. Counting down to winter vacation for my girls. Yep, my kiddo is going to be hitting it soon. Have I seen Wednesday? I have not. I have not had the time. My mother has seen it. She liked it a lot. And she grew up on the original Addams Family TV show, so that was interesting. Oh, Michael Anderson Doyle Dharma. 12 months of joy and knowledge. Glad you will. Thank you very much for continuing to support as a member of the channel. Greatly appreciate that. See, Donald's got it. And a Happy New Year. Do I have a favorite Who Xmas special? It's one of those things that I would probably give a different answer each time I'm asked that. At the moment, it's honestly probably Husbands of River Song. But that's, for Capaldi and River together. Marv? Harry? Why aren't you wearing your shoes? Why are you dressed like a chicken? Yeah, I know my Home Alone. I was watching Toy Story with my friend the other day, and I said the human characters look less plastic than the Kardashians. That's a little cruel. Here's the thing. I don't care enough about the Kardashians to have a negative opinion on them. I just don't think they matter enough to hate. Andor was so good. Your analysis was perfectly on point. I found myself wanting more of a Star Wars show than I ever have in a long time. Yeah! Stargate. Yeah, I agree. Andor was fantastic. Where did I get the cardigan from? This, I can't, I'm trying to remember if this was a gift. I think this was a gift. This was either a gift or I bought it with a gift card. It's one of the two. It's from Hot Topic, because I don't know if you can tell on camera that in some of the sunflowers are skulls. So they're kind of hidden in there. I'm getting to see the Muppet Christmas Carol on the big screen next week. Don't know if it's the Love Is Gone cut. Well, it'll be good either way. Is Garfield my spirit animal? I don't think so. I don't think I'm that lazy. My boomer dad is worried about the Russo-Ukrainian war bleeding over onto American shores. What media would staunch his fears? I don't know, because I don't know how you get there. Because, yeah, I guess that would be a concern, given that America shares a border with either country. I'm not entirely sure what to do with that. My favorite Christmas movie? It's honestly probably Love Actually, which I know, like, people have turned on over the years. I still like it. What's the most egregious sin a franchise could commit for you? I can't give a blanket statement on that, because it's going to vary from franchise to franchise, because every franchise should, hopefully, in theory, be a little bit different. And so what would be an unforgivable sin for one franchise might be perfectly acceptable for another, depending on what they're built to do and what kind of stories they tell and what kind of characters they deal with. So I don't have a blanket answer for that. I think I prefer the Christmas specials to be given to guest writers to give showrunners more of a break. I mean, maybe. I hadn't thought of that. Have I ever made anything from scratch? Like, define anything. Like food? Yeah, a couple things. Not often. Not usually. Last week's disappointing movie experience. Finally went to see Top Gun Maverick at a large UK chain. We all sat over 30 minutes with plenty going to say it had not started before we were told to. Oh, that cut off. I guess it's going to be continued later. What are my favorite versions of Scrooge, Bob Cratchit, and Jacob Marley? Geez. I don't really have an answer for that. I enjoy A Christmas Carol, but I'm not that invested in it. Let's see here. Oh, Joshua Finzi, thank you very much for the super chat. Hi, do you no longer identify as gender fluid? I only recently started watching your vids again, so I think I missed a lot over the last few years. No, I still identify as gender fluid. I'm trans feminine, so my general presentation is female. So I am still gender fluid. The range has kind of narrowed, because when I first came out as gender fluid, I was at a point in my life where I would have some days where I was feeling masculine, where I was feeling feminine, where I was feeling kind of neutral, non-binary sort of thing. Over time, that has shrunk down specifically from the masculine end. So it is at this point very rare that I have a flatly masculine day. They are becoming less and less and less frequent. It's part of why I dropped the masculine pronoun a year and a bit ago, because it used to be like all pronouns are fine. I'm fine with either she or they. I don't like being called he, him, because I don't really identify masculinely anymore. That having been said, my sense of gender does still move. It is still fluid. It does still waver. So it's still fluid. It's just not wandering as much space. So now it basically goes from feminine to non-binary and various sort of minglings of the two. But I managed to make this even murkier than it was. But I do still identify as gender fluid. And I'm crucial to this is I do not identify as a trans woman. As I said, I am trans feminine, so I am a trans femme. That meaning that I have transitioned because I am on hormones and and I flatly, not that you have to be on hormones to transition, but like I flatly don't identify as the gender I was assigned at birth. I am trans, and I'm trans feminine because I identify more as feminine than as any degree of masculine. So I am trans, and my transition has put me in a more feminine place. I am trans femme, but I'm not a trans woman. I don't identify as a woman. I don't claim to be a woman. So when the jackasses show up in my comments and are like, "You'll never be a woman," whoop, I'm knocking stuff around. I delete that with the knowledge that, like, yeah, I never said I was. Piss off. It's all about the Alistair Sim version of Christmas Carol. That one's really good. The George C. Scott one's pretty good as well. I also have I have a little bit of a soft spot for the Patrick Stewart one, which isn't great, but he's pretty good in it. I'm definitely planning to do more karate classes. Oh, good for you, Kate. I hope you enjoy them. Has the fluid congealed? I guess a little. Gremlins is the movie that I have to watch every year for Christmas. That one works. See, I have a hard time watching the first one because I like the second one so much more. I had a rush of Christmas nostalgia yesterday when I went to a friend's house and saw their Rankin Bass decorations. See, it's funny, like, I love Rankin Bass, but I love their fantasy stuff. Like, I don't think I'd seen any of their holiday stuff until I was an adult, but I grew up on The Hobbit and The Last Unicorn and Thundercats. So, first time live chatting on my phone. Laptop is at the technician. Still a bit clumsy on the phone. Oh, don't worry, Gozer. You're doing just fine. I love Muppets Christmas Carol. That one is it's a legitimately good adaptation. Even Muppets aside, it's legitimately good. Edward Woodward as the ghost of Christmas Present. So Dharma, I have a hard time seeing that name because, like, I've listened to the audio commentary on Hot Fuzz, and one of the things they go off is whenever Edward Woodward is in the shot, they do a callback to, I guess, what was an inside joke, like, what would his name be if without the letter D? Iwawuwa. And so whenever he's on screen, they just say Iwawuwa. And so I have a hard time seeing Edward Woodward's name without thinking Iwawuwa. It's real dumb. It's real stupid, but what are you going to do? Have I ever heard of the parody song 12 Pains of Christmas? Yes, I'm quite familiar with that one. I was introduced to that song by my kiddo's mother back when I was in my 20s. The 12 Pains of Christmas. I don't remember all of them. I remember the last two, the two and the one. Rigging up the lights and finding a Christmas tree. Yeah. I haven't heard that in a while. I think the George C. Scott version has both the Best Marley and Best Ghost of Christmas Present. Edward Woodward is quite terrifying. So, like, here's the thing. The first version of Christmas Carol I ever knew was Mickey's Christmas Carol. I actually thought that Pete as the Ghost of Christmas Future was damn terrifying. There's something about the laugh and the casualness with which he lights up a stub of a cigar and smacks Scrooge into this open grave where the coffin opens and it's the flames of hell. And he's just up there laughing. I thought that was damn scary when I was a kid. Have I seen Del Toro's Pinocchio? It's a wild ride. I have not had the time. I don't know when I'm going to get to that. Wait, Rankin Bass did Thundercats? Yeah, they did. Fun fact for you. Jules Bass, Jules Bass passed away at the end of October. Yeah, that was a bummer. Arthur Rankin Jr. had passed away some years ago, but yeah. Let's be honest, Jingle All the Way is my go-to next to the Grinch. I won't accept any negativity about that. In fact, I'll class it as blasphemy. You do you. It's fine. Hate. Loathe entirely. I'll say this. The Jim Carrey Grinch is very memeable. It is a very memetic movie. Strange World starts streaming December 23rd. That fast! Holy crap. They abandoned that even faster than I thought they would. Oh my gosh. Whoo! Oh, oh dear. Oh dear. The Grinch, Charlie Brown and Rudolph, and the Little Drummer Boy, which requires a box of tissues. Aw. I think a good cry does you good. Where did I leave off? Yes, exactly, Dharma. Whose lonesome grave is this? Why, yours, Ebenezer, the richest man in the cemetery. He freaked me out when I was a kid. Let's see. Do I watch Elf? No. I have seen Elf, but it's not part of my my regular holiday diet. Like, if somebody else puts it on, I'm not gonna turn it off, but it's not one I'm gonna go out of my way to see. I got Vera vibes from the character Ember from the teaser of Pixar's Elemental. That teaser didn't leave a huge impression on me. But then again, to be fair, early teasers for Pixar movies rarely do, so that's not really indicative of anything. 4 o'clock, wallow in self-pity. I feel like hold on. I want to look that up now. I want to look up the whole quote. Give me a hot second. All right, here we go. Even if I wanted to go, my schedule wouldn't allow it. 1 o'clock, wallow in self-pity. 4:30, stare into the abyss. 5 o'clock, solve world hunger, tell no one. 5:30, jazzercise. 6:30, dinner with me. I can't cancel that again. 7 o'clock, wrestle with my self-loathing. I'm booked. And the thing is, I can like moments like that in isolation. I still don't think they actually work in the context of the movie, at all. But 12 Pains of Christmas gets funnier when he starts changing the verse to get the flashlight. I blew a fuse. That is one of the things I did like first time I heard 12 Pains of Christmas, that every time it comes back to the light sky, well, not every time, but eventually it starts being not just rigging up the lights. It starts getting more and more annoying. Get the flashlight, I blew a fuse. Now why the hell are they blinking? One light goes out, they all go out. Yeah. Let's see, where was I? Have I heard the song Merry Christmas, Kiss My Ass? I don't think I have. I don't think I've heard that one. Angus, thank you very much for the super chat. So we've got the follow-up on the Maverick thing. The end of Top Gun Maverick tale was they had no one locally to get it to play. As it is all computerized, and the computer said no. We were offered a grumpy refund. Oh no! Oh, so the theater didn't know how to handle the digital projection. Oh, jeez. Can I try A Christmas Story? I've seen A Christmas Story. I know A Christmas Story. There's nothing to try. I've tried it. Nightmare Before Christmas is my go-to Christmas movie and Halloween movie and any other time movie. Ah, yes. One of the best films about cultural appropriation. Did you see some of the new Barrowman stuff today? If you don't want to talk about it, it's fine. It's sad to see. I only, I know a little bit. I don't know what I don't know what happened that made him think he should do this, but I know that John Barrowman put out a tweet basically slamming Eve Miles, his co-star from Torchwood. It was a picture of the two of them together, and it said, only one of the people in this picture is telling the truth, or something like that. And he must have realized that he really screwed up in doing that, because last I checked, his entire Twitter account has been shut down. And it wouldn't have been by, Twitter itself. It's something he would have had to do voluntarily. Just shut the whole thing down. And yeah, I watched a little bit briefly some of Mr. Tardis's stream from today. He covered it more thoroughly than I'm going to, or ever going to want to. But I feel like the short version of what has happened with Barrowman is that, well, first of all, let's acknowledge that while what he got in trouble for doing was not okay and never was. Let's start there. But the point at which it came up in the conversation was for very bullshit reasons. Because Noel Clarke was basically trying to pull a whataboutism with him, because he was facing a ton of far worse allegations and basically, well, what about that guy? And dragged him into the conversation. So, the reason it even came up was BS. So, to a certain degree, I understand why he was frustrated about it. But his handling of that whole thing was just really, really bad, because he never really issued an apology once it came up again. He did various things where he said, I've apologized for that in the past, but the reason that doesn't matter is because, he apologized back in, 2008, but there were more recent incidents of him exposing himself on the sets of shoots since then. So that apology effectively doesn't matter, and he never really apologized again since then. But what he basically, if I were to give my short version of what happened, was he went, yeah, no, I guess that wasn't great. I guess I'm kind of sorry. It wasn't even really an apology, but let's pretend for a moment. He's like, yeah, no, I'm sort of sorry about that. And then when that turned out to not be enough for people to just go, oh, well, it's all okay then, he just went hard the opposite direction, started going off on cancel culture and how all of it's unfair and it's all a joke. It's all meant in good fun. He went from walking right up to the line of apologizing for it, and then when it turned out that he thought that was going to be enough and it wasn't, he just went hard the other way and stopped acting like there was anything to apologize for. And yeah, that, as John Bainbridge said in the chat, that feeling when you cancel yourself, that's pretty much it. That is pretty much exactly what he did. At this point, any work he fails to get, any production that won't have him back, be it Doctor Who, be it if they revive Torchwood again, please don't. But if they do, be it anything related to the Arrowverse, people not wanting to work with him at this point is his fault. There was a time a couple of years ago where it was a little bit, I even did a video at the time, it felt a little weird at me that he was losing work, with Big Finish, closer to when the initial sort of brouhaha happened, because he hadn't gone full, I did nothing wrong yet. but he was still losing work. So again, I do understand his frustration. But at this point, like, people are just looking at his behavior and going, I don't want to work with that guy. And that he did that to himself. So like the initial loss of work may, I'm not even sure. I'd have to like go back and look at the timeline, may have not been entirely fair. But the fact that it's ongoing and hasn't resolved and, you know, is something that still keeps coming up, that's his own damn fault at this point. And it's a shame. It really is. I wanted him to just do better than he did. Because I met him and he was charming and wonderful. And I saw, you know, one of his sort of panel live show kind of things at a conference. And he was delightful. And it was really, really frustrating to just watch him trip over his own feet again and again and again and freaking again. Let's see. I heard that's that Chris Muppets Christmas Carol. Sweetums went into a violent rage on set when he learned he wasn't going to play the Ghost of Christmas Present. Come in and know me better, man. Yeah, that's pretty much it, Gozer. John, we were rooting for you and you effed it up. Yeah, pretty much. Like, here's the thing. It always feels weird to say this about someone who is not only accused, but like we can comfortably say did not good stuff. But I feel like at least in terms of handling the aftermath, very few of them have done well. And I'd say the ones who probably did the best was Warren Ellis. And again, this is not to forgive Warren Ellis for anything he did. Not saying anyone, and I'm not even saying he should start getting work again. But just in terms of not making the situation worse, he probably handled it about as well as it could be handled. Because Warren Ellis, short version, he is a television and comic book writer and novelist. He's written for all kinds of stuff. He's written a lot for Marvel. He wrote Transmetropolitan. He wrote all of the Netflix Castlevania show. But he had some women came forward about how things went in relationships that they had with him. And what he did was he immediately said, I don't think anyone should doubt these women. He immediately walked away from every project he had. He wasn't fired from anything. He didn't have time to be fired. He walked away from everything. He said, I'm going to go and, you know, get into therapy and try and get myself sorted because what these women say they experienced is not my memory. But he didn't say that in a they're lying way. He said that in a I clearly didn't understand the dynamic that was actually at play. And he's basically kept his head down ever since, so far as I can tell. I don't think he's popped up again. And again, none of this is to say, and he's a good guy. He's not. But like in terms of if you want a template for how to not make the situation work, I feel like that's pretty much it. You know, don't call anybody a liar. And I mean, unless you honestly think somebody's lying. Let's put that caveat in there. If you honestly, very sincerely believe that somebody is targeting and lying about you, you know, dig whatever, put your feet in the ground however you need to. But like, if you know in your heart, like, I don't think these people are lying, don't call anybody a liar. Don't make it a bigger stink than it should be. Walk away from everything so that you're not tainting whatever creative projects you're attached to, and just go sort yourself out. Like, it's so weird to point to somebody who, like, again, I don't feel is a good guy, even though I have to admit to having liked a lot of his work, and go like, he kind of did it right. Like, Louis C.K. almost did it right, and then he came back with a comedy special bitching about cancel culture. I was like, oh, Yeah, okay, great. Anyways, that turned into a longer rant than I intended it to be. See the Santa hat in the background? Yeah! Oh, I'd used that for a shoot earlier, and I haven't put it away. It's actually sitting... it is sitting on top of my hip pads, oddly enough. So he's hot, charming, and toxic. I'm shocked. Shocked, I say. I'm shocked. Shocked! Well, not that shocked. In case you ever wanted to know what happened to Seven and Ace, I'm going to be reviewing the books that picked up where the show left off starting in January. Oh, that sneaky little plug for your channel there. Although, seriously, Vacuum of Comments does very nice work. And I think if you follow me, I think you would enjoy Ben's stuff. Let's see. In other words, John Barrowman tried to pee in the wind and it blew back in his face. Yeah, kinda. I can't hear that phrase without thinking of oh, what was it? It was Far and Away, which is a 90s movie. I just remember a character going up to another one like, "What do you think you're doing, pissing into the wind?" Huh? Let's see. Venga Boys are back in town. Ooh! Boy, there's a blast from the past. Oh, that's great. I remember first I saw the Barrowman stuff was from a clip of a panel Clark was part of where he mentioned Barrowman stuff. I don't think Clark brought Barrowman down. We just found out. Clark was bringing it up and was pointing to it. Now, like, Barrowman brought himself down, but the fact that the spotlight was put on him, that was kind of Clark's fault. Watch your reaction to the Spider-Man and Into the Spider-Verse. It's Across the Spider-Verse, but thank you. Yeah, that trailer reaction is up in the break room of Geeks. I think that society doesn't do cis men any favors in how they teach them to treat women. So I can appreciate a man who says, I didn't realize what I did wasn't right, so I'm going to work on it. Yeah, like, again, does not forgive any of it. But, you know, it's true, pirates. Did you know that we live in a society? Think about it. Anyways, was it Chappelle bringing Elon on stage bad? Carolyn was the one who brought that whole thing to my attention this morning. I'm all right. That was energizing this morning. Oh, Christmas at Ground Zero. Weird Al has some interesting Christmas songs because there's Christmas at Ground Zero. There's The Night Santa Went Crazy. Don't play that one for the kids. Yes, Virginia, now Santa's doing time in a federal prison for his infamous crime. Sorry. I think it's the second to last chorus. And he smiled as he said, with a twinkle in his eye, Merry Christmas to all, now you're all gonna die. Oh, Al Yankovic he's just the right amount of sick, I feel like. I can't believe my parents let me listen to the Venga Boys. Those lyrics were something else. I think a lot of us at various points, once we paid closer attention to lyrics, we were like, am I Am I supposed to be listening to this? My partner's way hyped for Wednesday. I hope you enjoy it. I've heard good things about it. I don't know when I'll find the time. Do you guys get the Christmas song Driving Home for Christmas by Chris Rea played over in America? It's a sublime Christmas song. I do not know that one. That does not ring a bell. Bronchi. No, it's not bronchitis. Like I've just had this lingering. This is what I tend to think of as like a clearing cough. Like it's not. I'm not sick anymore, but it's just like just trying to clear that slight at the back, because like I feel fine. I can breathe fine. I'm not sick. It's just eh. So, like, what was Chappelle's point and all that? I think Chappelle genuinely had no idea that the crowd was going to be so hostile. I don't think he had a point other than, like, hey, I'm friends with the rich guy. with the dang it. With the rich guy. I don't think he had a point beyond that. I just think he thought it like, oh, there's a famous guy in the crowd. Let's just bring him up. I don't think he thought of it beyond that. Hey, Meg! I didn't see you sneak in. It's good to see you. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation is an excellent Christmas movie. That one is quite good. That one is good. I agree. Hanging on by a thread? Oh, Meg, I'm sorry. The Venga Boys? Now, that's a name I've not heard since actually a month ago in Todd's top 10 90s buses list. That was so weird. Bless him for doing it. I sometimes wish Louis C.K. continued his pre-2018 style of comedy minus the sexual assault and not whine about cancel culture. I mean, so here's the thing that I'll say about people like Louis C.K. and people in positions like that. Sorry. I think I've just hit this point where this tickle in my throat. Ideally, I would just stop talking for a bit, but we got 20 minutes left on the stream. Anyways, so I think the thing with someone like Louis C.K. is that I understand to a certain extent that if he felt it was time for him to start trying to work again, or if financially, if he needed to, which I don't know what his financial situation was, but, you know, in theory, career-wise, he had one of two options. Try to appeal to an audience that was mad at him and maybe wasn't ready to have him back yet, and who maybe was not going to be ready to forgive him for who knows how long. God damn it. Or appeal to a different audience that will absolutely take him in, which is the anti-woke cancel culture crowd. Because that's the thing, that position is inherently right-wing, and there are a few things right-wingers love more than someone who used to be either more center or progressive leaning, who is now doing their dance and appealing to them. They love that. It's really hard to go the other direction. more progressively minded people tend to be very suspicious and cautious of someone who has a history of exemplifying the other end of the spectrum. But going the other way, that's basically guaranteed money. So he either could have like pounded the pavement and grinded himself down, trying to win back the audience he lost, or he could appeal to a new one. He chose the latter. I don't like it, but I get it. Finally got around to watching Tokyo Godfathers today. I still haven't seen that one. We've been given our parts of the nativity play, and I'm the lobster. The lobster? Yeah. In the nativity play? Yeah. First lobster. There was more than one lobster at the birth of Jesus. Duh. Have I seen the animated film The Snowman? I have, but not since I was a kid. I don't understand how anyone on the left could turn conservative. That just doesn't compute for me. Well, 9 times out of 10, it's going... Well, okay, no, let me revise that. In my experience, it's one... It's one of 3 things. Vera, please drink some water. Thank you, Meg. But so people on the left gravitating towards the right tends to be one of a couple of things. Firstly, you have basically just self-interest. It will be more beneficial to them personally to go over to the right. This is where I lump together most people who like basically all of the hippies who became yuppies. All the hippies in the 60s who became yuppies in the 80s, this is them. They realized that there was more money in being on the right, and so they just went that way because it paid better. So that's one. The other, and this also this one kind of skews older, is you'll have people who their positions have basically never moved, but what the left considers progressive has gone further left than they are, and they kind of become some degree of conservative by default. And then they look around and go, well, I guess I have more in common with these people on the right, and so they go that way. And I had another reason in my head, and now it's gone. But I think a lot of it, the other one just being, there is one specific hardcore prejudice that they have that is so strong they'll sacrifice everything else. This is like where you get someone who really, really hates gay people, and maybe otherwise is, accepting of various religions, isn't especially racially harsh or anything, believes in social programs, but just really hates gay people. If you hate that enough, you have to go to the right because the left supports them, even if everything else is antithetical to your views. Actually, I think a better point of reference on that might be the abortion issue. That was a big wedge issue. And okay, so now I'm going to go off on another thing, so just stick with me. This is part of the problem of having only 2 parties and then being around for as long as the Democrats and the Republicans have, because they just settle on basically being on the opposite side of almost every issue. There are a handful of things that they basically agree on, but all of the big let's have a debate about this issues they are on opposite sides of. Gun control, abortion, queer rights, how much religion should be in our public institutions, et cetera, et cetera. It's opposite sides. And that's just where they're going to drift to over time if those 2 parties don't get shaken up. they're going to drift onto opposite sides of these issues. But what that means is that for any individual for whom they don't line up 100% with one or the other, they're going to have to make a decision and basically prioritize and rank their values. So in theory, if you are socially progressive but financially conservative, which most people say they are that, or just conservative across the board, but like, just indulge the thought. If you believe that we should have smaller government, but do not believe in any way in stripping away the rights from queer people, you believe in the right to abortion, you believe in all this other stuff, well, one party serves one set of needs, the other serves the other. The log cabin Republicans are the perfect example of this, because they were a bunch of white cis gay men who completely agreed with basically everything the Republican Party did. But when the Republican Party was trying to push to get marriages between a man and a woman added to the Constitution, they basically went, look, we are not okay with this, but we're okay with everything else. They may have objected to that, but they still voted Republican. They wanted different Republican candidates who wouldn't push for that specific issue, but they still voted Republican. So that is a situation that we find ourselves in, where, and then once you're in that situation, you have one of two choices. Either you have to deal with the fact that you're never going to be completely happy because the party that either addresses most of your political needs or the biggest political needs, whichever might be the case, is still not going to align with you absolutely 100%. You just have to reconcile that fact that on some issues you are voting for people who are not going to do what you want them to do. And that's frustrating and annoying and infuriating. Or you can basically go in really hard and go, okay, so I'm already voting this way because of these core things. Maybe it just makes more sense for me to just back all these positions because this is the way I'm going to vote regardless. And I don't think that's necessarily a conscious choice that people make, but I do think that it is a shift that happens. It's kind of the political equivalent of, if you're going to treat me like I'm an asshole, I'm going to act like one. So if you are going to treat me like I believe all these things because I vote this way, even though I'm only voting this way because of these specific issues, if you're going to treat me as if I'm in favor of all of this, well, screw it. I'll just be in favor of all of it. And that's how you get it drifting further and further to either given side, though usually further to the right. Left radicalization, I'm not going to say it doesn't exist. It does, but it is not as well constructed a pipeline. 255 AD, how long I'd have to wait if I pick culture, no audio. All right, realistically, you'd probably be looking at sometime in the summer. Tail end of the summer, so July, realistically. Could I get to it before then? Maybe, but I can't promise that. And I'm not even going to guarantee you the summer thing. I'm just realistically, I think that's about where it lands. Discord. Thank you, Carowin. All right, so I will be back in just a moment. I'm going to pop over to the Council of Geeks Discord, which is indeed a Patreon perk, so you can join the Council of Geeks Patreon to get access to that. Don't have too many questions this time, so this should be quick. Okay, this is somebody laying out some either-ors for me. Best Christmas movie, Muppet Christmas Carol or Die Hard? Muppet Christmas Carol is the better Christmas movie. If you're asking me the better movie overall, that's tougher, but if you're saying best Christmas movie, it's Muppet Christmas Carol. I'm sorry, it is. Best Santa, Richard Attenborough or Nick Frost? Nick Frost. Nick Frost was an awesome Santa. Richard Attenborough was a good Santa. He was a good Santa, don't get me wrong. I like Nick Frost a little better. Best Christmas special, Charlie Brown Christmas or Charlie Brown Christmas? Garfield Christmas. So there you go. All right, I'm back in the main chat now. What's my favorite version of A Christmas Carol? I mean, I've definitely seen the Muppet one more than any of the others. I don't have a strong commitment on it though. That subject kind of came up earlier in the stream. Richard Attenborough was from my hometown. Oh, cool. Are you saying we need an LGBT capitalist libertarian party and a socially conservative tanky party? No. I do think we need a third party of some form so that unfortunately, third parties are not realistic going to get a big foothold. What is, I think, the only major way that is likely to happen is if one of the parties has a foundational split. But then what is more likely to happen is one version will die out and the other will continue on. But the problem with two parties specifically is it just stratifies either side of every issue. Whereas if you had a third party, you'd have a reason for there to be more nuance. You'd have a reason to take a position other than the opposite of the opposing party. Because if the opposing party has a position, it's in your political interest to take the opposite position, to appeal to everybody that they are ticking off. And that's just what happens. Thoughts on Fairy Tale of New York apart from that verse? I don't think I know Fairy Tale of New York. Or if I do, I'm drawing a blank. Would I ever get a Charlie Brown Christmas tree? Now, by Charlie Brown Christmas tree, do you mean the big metal one or the little tiny, like you put one ornament and it goes, bleh, one? In either case, probably not. Have I seen Nan's Christmas Carol? Catherine Tate is Scrooge. David Tennant's The Ghost of Christmas Present. I have not seen that. Yes, Gozer. I found out about that on Twitter today. So yes, David Tennant has taken to wearing a non-binary patterned rainbow pin in public and in interviews, like on Zoom interviews and whatnot, because one of his kids is non-binary. And I love that. I love that. And I remember seeing the comments on somebody who brought it up, and like there were multiple pictures of him with this pin. And one of the comments was, you know, at first I thought maybe he had just fixed it, affixed it to one specific jumper and it just stayed there. But then I saw that same pin on various different shirts and sweaters and jumpers and whatnot. And it's like, that means he's making a point. It's not just something that's there and that's the sweater he happened to put on. He's making a point of wearing it publicly and visibly, which is great. That's great. My first Christmas Carol was Mickey's Christmas Carol. Same. Ghost of Christmas Future was just as traumatizing as the Bill Murray version. That one's pretty scary too. Fairy Tale of New York is the song at the start of the Guardians Christmas special. Okay, I think I missed that because the song, when I think of the song at the start of the Guardians Christmas special, when I say that or I think of that, I'm referring to I Don't Know What Christmas Is. So no, I don't know this other one. Have I seen Arthur Christmas? I saw it once. It was cute. I know some other people like. I know Cell Specs swears by it. And it's fine. It's fine. I love Rise of the Guardians. A little obsessed with the concept of Jack Frost. I also love Frost in the Laurel K. Hamilton books. Jack Frost, like, he's become He's accumulated a lot of simps over the years. Like, a lot of people ship him with Elsa, and it's kind of adorable. Rise of the Guardians is so good too, though. Never quite sure when to watch it. I'm not sure I've seen the entire thing front to back. I think I even have it. I think like my kid watched it and I've seen most of it. I don't know if I've seen the whole thing. Anyways. Where was I? Have you been able to get Little Debbie Christmas tree cakes? I can't find them anywhere. I generally try not to get that kind of stuff because I eat too much of it. I hope you have a great Christmas with your family. Thank you, Brendan. I appreciate that. Little Debbie trees are out. Oh! I also saw a weird chocolate variant. Ooh, not ideal. Oh, so I guess there's a line in this song that everyone's referring to about the NYPD choir. Again, I don't think I actually know. Obviously I've heard the song. If it was in the Guardian special, I heard it, but I don't think it stood out to me. I don't think I actually know it. So we keep coming back to this song that I don't really know. What were your opinions on Elon Musk pre-2019? I don't know if I gave enough of a crap about him to have an opinion, to be honest. I don't think it was high. I don't think I've ever thought particularly highly of billionaires. I didn't start to truly sour on them until, I don't know, 2017, 2018 ballpark. Well, maybe even a little before that. No, it would have been before that. Let's say 2015. 2015, I started to sour on that. And at this point, I'm just on the fact that billionaires exist is unethical train. But I don't think I was ever impressed with Elon Musk. I don't think I ever drank the Kool-Aid on that one. Flavor-Aid, if we want to be technical about it. 255AD, thank you very much for the super chat. My fave in the whole series, Look to Windward. I thought about commissioning another for Christmas. You could get to more easily, but not my fave. I mean, whatever you want to do is up to you, but keep in mind, at this point especially, I'm not gonna get to any more commissions before Christmas. I'm actually getting way ahead on my shooting. I'm months ahead on my shooting. So even if you were to commission me immediately, and even if it was something I could do in a day, real quick, it's not going to go up for at least a month, if not two, minimum. So, have I heard of Strange Hill High? No, I don't think so. If I've heard of it, I've forgotten. Christmas movie recommendation, Anna and the Apocalypse. Diamanda reviewed it recently. It's a Scottish high school musical Christmas zombie movie. Isn't that the one with Anna Kendrick? I do like her. While I like Torchwood, I don't want it back as a show. I would like to see a return to the original concept of, from Series 2, an Earth organization that's hostile to the Doctor. I mean, maybe. I don't think Torchwood was ever especially good other than Children of Earth. It was sporadically good. And Children of Earth was great. And other than that, I'm like, why? Why are we doing this? Have I seen the Santa Claus? I've seen the original movie. I have not seen either of the sequels or the series. I think we are going to wrap it up soon. Have I ever seen Sausage Party? Nope, and I do not intend to. Ever. If somebody commissions me and wants me to rip into it, yeah, sure, fine. Spend your money how you want to spend your money. I will not voluntarily ever watch Sausage Party for multiple reasons. Am I the only one who wasn't a massive fan of Gwen Cooper? She never did much for me, if I'm honest. Like, she's fine. She's not a bad character. I didn't dislike her, but like, she wasn't a pull for me. Have I seen the Christmas Chronicles? It's on Netflix. No, my mother saw that. Said it was good. I have not. Look to Windward is 357 pages. Yeah, that's going to be some months to get to that. Just get a stand-in to play Jack with his face mutating into that of the face of Bo. Have the doctor take him to the future, put him in that jar. Just like I won't ever voluntarily watch Glee. Exactly. Suggs with a box. Thank you. That was very generous for that super chat. Happy holidays, and a happy holidays to you as well. Thank you. I appreciate that greatly. My favorite sonic screwdriver. I'm not sure. Like, of the ones I have recreations of, which is most of them, I kind of just like messing around with 12s the most. I think aesthetically, I like Rivers best, though. Would I rather watch Sausage Party or Glee? Well, Sausage Party only because it's shorter. It's 90 minutes as opposed to multiple seasons of television. So, let's see. All right, I think we are going to wrap it up soon. Do I ever plan on going to Turf Island? No. No, I don't. I wouldn't feel safe setting foot in the UK. Like, I would maybe feel slightly safer than going to certain southern states. Like, let me put it this way. I'd probably feel safer in the UK than I would in, say, Texas or Utah. But that doesn't mean I'd feel safe there objectively. It'd just be slightly less awful. So no, I might in future go, well, I'll tell you what, if Scotland never goes independent, I'll go there in a heartbeat. I might go to Scotland anyway at some point, but yeah, I've been to England. I had a wonderful trip there. Years and years and years and years ago. But I do not want to go back. Yeah. Anyways, Supreme Omega, thank you very much for the super chat. I know you want Tim to be adapted. How would you adapt his main love interest, Steph, aka the spoiler, also Cass Kane, because those two girls never get adapted? Well, Cassandra Cain technically did get adapted, but like the character bore no resemblance, so we might as well not count it. I don't know Stephanie Brown especially well, if I'm being honest. The thing is with Cassandra Cain, so I feel like for Cassandra Cain to work, you do need the base level of Robin having been a thing. Robin does not necessarily need to currently be a thing. Batgirl does not need to have been a thing previously. I don't think you need Barbara in order to do Cassandra Cain, because honestly, her origin and her pull towards the Bat family and her pull towards all of that does not require that Batgirl is an existing mantle that she takes up. She could totally build it for herself. I think the only thing you need to establish is that Batman has had some degree of protege before, because I think it's gonna be too hard to sell that like he just his conclusion of what do we do with this severely traumatized and dangerous young woman. Oh, I know. I'll help train her to fight crime and hopefully teach her to not kill people without having some precedent that he's done something like this before. I think it just becomes a bizarre decision. But as long as you, and you don't even necessarily to have shown it, as long as you can establish that Robin has been a thing at least once before, you can just do Cassandra Cain pretty much as is. Anyways, I think we are going to wrap it up. Hit up Stephanie Sterling. They look out for you over there. I don't doubt that that they would. Maybe I know I've talked with Steph once, but we did just talk once. It was basically just an interview, but they're lovely. Steph's great. What if I commission one review at Christmas, but another one at March, my birthday, that you can get on an audiobook? Would you get to the latter one first? I feel like this is a conversation that might be better had over email. 255 AD. Just in general, here's the thing. I have my goals for trying to catch up on the backlog of commission reviews because it is a backlog. So I understand your desire to have stuff addressed quickly, and I certainly would like to get to it faster than I have in the past, but I am not right now in a position to make guarantees on timeframes. I'm just not. I can give you my best guess. I can give you a goal. I cannot make you promises. And, giving me more specific scenarios of, okay, well, what if this and this, and I ask for this? I can't promise you. I can promise you that it will get done, but I cannot promise you a time frame. I have too much going on, and I am too behind on other commissions to be able to promise you a time frame. Okay? I'm doing my best, but you're asking for something that I can't give right now. All right, Supreme Omega in with one last super chat. Also in cast, do you need to adapt No Man's Land? No, you don't have to. I mean, all you have to do is establish that Gotham City is bad enough that somebody would behave in the way she is behaving and would take up that mantle and do that stuff, and you don't necessarily need No Man's Land to justify that. Just have Gotham be that bad. Anyways, okay, so stuff coming up. Tomorrow, I'll be on Twitch, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and that I will be playing just a little to the left, or a little to the left, something like that. It's basically just a chill out and relax kind of game. I'll be doing that. I am not planning to do any more episode by episode reviews. It's Yule. Reviews of Willow, so don't expect that. But there will be more stuff going up in the break room during the week. Friday, I'll be on Twitch again, probably playing more of the same. Saturday's video is going to be interesting. I'm going to be talking about how we discuss mental health in relation to public figures. And I'm going to launch into this conversation by way of J.K. Rowling. So that'll be interesting. So that's Saturday. And I think that's everything coming up this week. Monday's more Jumpgate. And next stream here will be the 27th. So it'll be after Christmas, and it'll be the last one of 2022. And I think that is everything. All right. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Thank you for your thoughts, your well wishes, the super chats, always appreciated. And I hope that you have a great rest of the week. And please remember that you are beautiful, you are valid, and you are loved. You are the council. I'm just running the meetings. And until next time, this council is adjourned. McCavity!